Kind of a touchy subject. I know that a lot of people probably cringed when they heard that the topic was sleep and diet because that is a big struggle for a lot of parents, and I get it. I understand it. Sometimes our kids just eat what they want to eat, they refuse to eat anything else, and it's just really a struggle. Same thing with sleep. Sometimes it's just they fight us tooth and nail because they don't want to miss out on what's going on, different things like that. So it is a struggle, and I just want to kind of bring home the point today of why it is so critical for your child's behavior to go ahead and make sure that they're getting enough sleep and are eating proper foods that are in line with, stabilizing their mood and being able to help them function a little bit more easily. So a big thing that I've noticed with parents is that, they're kind of aware of, most people might be thinking like, well, yeah, of course, sleep and diet affect, but they don't know the extent to which it affects. And a lot of parents don't really realize just how much sleep their little ones need for their growth and their development and, also their mood. So sleep, I'm gonna first give you, according to WebMD, how much sleep your child should be getting for the specific age. So for ages 1 to 3, they should be getting 12 to 14 hours of sleep. And this amount of sleep that I'm going to specify is the amount that they should be actually sleeping. This isn't just being in their room with the lights out, quiet, and something that I learned when I was learning about sleep training was that the sleep while they're in motion, while they're in the car, while they're in a swing, while they're in, the stroller it's not a restorative sleep. It's not a sleep that really counts for that deep level of sleep that they need for their development. So I didn't know that, and I wanted to pass on that information to you guys as well. So this is actually, in their bed, sleeping a restful, calm sleep, not in motion. So for ages 3 to 6, it should be 10 to 12 hours of sleep. And for 7 to 12, it should be 10 to 11 hours of sleep. So, a lot of us think, 8 hours is fine. But when they're little, they really do need quite a bit more sleep. So just keeping those amounts of sleep in mind for your little ones should help out as well. So how to ensure that your child gets a good sleep to begin with. So there's certain tips that I've given. I've done a whole sleep training series basically it's called How to Win Bedtime Battles. So if you missed that, it should be on my IGTV account and you can go back and see that. If not, it's on my YouTube channel for sure. So the first tip that I give is to limit electronics. It's very important to limit any type of electronics because it really does stimulate the brain. There's something that it gives off called blue light. And it even triggers our brains as well. It kind of alerts our brains. So turning off any type of electronics at least 30 minutes to an hour before bed really helps out. And that goes into also TV. So if there's any type of TV shows that they're watching, anything that could possibly be interpreted by them as scary, a lot of times it doesn't seem scary to us, but then it's terrifying to them. So, and they replay it over and over in their brains while they're trying to sleep or trying to fall asleep, and they just scare themselves because they kind of dwell on it. So just making sure that you're cognizant of that. I know a lot of times if you're just watching regular TV, sometimes some commercials come on, especially at like Halloween time, that can be pretty darn scary, or movie trailers and stuff like that can be not really appropriate for our little kiddos and their brains. So definitely limiting electronics before bed. Limit stimulating play. So a lot of times people think that roughhousing, especially with boys, will get them tired, right? Will wear them out, so they're more likely to sleep. And that is true. but not right before bed. So if you're gonna do that, great. Do that maybe an hour before bed. Wear them out, run them ragged in the backyard or whatever, but really start winding things down right before bed. Because if you're having the stimulating play right before bed, it gets, again, their brains and their bodies alerted, it gets them awake, and then they really don't want to, or it's not like a switch that you can turn on and off with them like we can, you know, where it's like, okay, time to go to bed, but they're like, wait, we were just playing a second ago, I want to keep playing, like, why are you making me go to bed now? So it is very much making sure that you limit that stimulating play. Again, think of trying to wind down at least an hour to 30 minutes before bed. So also dimming lights kind of goes down with that. So again, the lights in the house, very stimulating to the brain. So, you know, start turning the lights down if you have, you know, your light switches on dimmers, or just maybe turn on a little table lamp instead of the ceiling lights. You know, just start to really turn down the light, turn down the sounds in the house, start really creating that atmosphere that triggers that sleepiness in the brain, and that sleepiness in our bodies will really help as well. So implementing a bedtime routine really, again, helps their brains and their bodies wind down, and it alerts them to prepare for bed. So it tells them, hey, you know, having this routine every single night, it really sets up the pattern for them to be able to fall asleep quickly and successfully. It winds their bodies down. Providing a nightlight or room darkening shades also is very, very helpful, because a lot of kiddos, my daughter is incredibly photosensitive. I am incredibly photosensitive. So any type of light in the room will wake me up. So especially when you're getting those, like, the daylight saving hours and it still might be bright outside when you're asking them to go to sleep, those room darkening shades are a lifesaver, as well as when you're trying to put them down for their nap in the middle of the day and it's bright outside. Really does help kind of signal to their brain again that it's time to go to sleep. So the night lights serve the purpose of basically combating any of that fear of the dark that they might have. Around the age of 2.5 to 3, they start really, their imagination start taking off, and they start, you know, being afraid of that shadow and this shadow and that thing in their closet. And it really helps just to have that kind of ambient light in there to make them feel more at ease. My daughter really likes a salt lamp. I ended up getting her a salt lamp, one of those pink Himalayan salt lamps from Sprouts. I think it was on sale, so I got one for her room. And it gives like this really subtle glow, almost like a candlelit glow or like a fireplace glow. And it's really just like this warm, soothing color and light. So, you know, that's something that she likes to fall asleep with. So I recommend that. Also, you know, my daughter also likes yoga. So there's a kids yoga channel on YouTube. I'm drawing a blank on the actual name of it right now, but you can do a kids yoga right before bed as well, or if you know, an hour before bed, where they can just really wind down and get in connection with their body and just, you know, relax. That also helps too. So yeah, for more tips on that, any type of, if you're struggling with anything related to bedtime or, you know, stuff like that, you can go ahead and check out my How to Win Bedtime Battles series on my IGTV or my YouTube channel. As far as diet, so now we're gonna tackle diet. So your child's diet really impacts their mood and their behavior. So trying to limit sugary and highly processed foods, which spike the insulin level. The insulin is basically a hormone in our body that makes us, you know, your mood changes dramatically. So if you notice that after you eat, you're feeling great, and then all of a sudden you kind of, the insulin wears off, and then you start being really sluggish and maybe a little grumpy, and then you need to get that hit of insulin again. You need to eat something to spike the insulin level again. So as much as possible for being able to regulate your child's mood is to make sure that they're eating these foods that have kind of like a longer shelf life in their body and their blood system, which would be, you know, more protein, more the healthy fats would be really great. Just, you know, again, limiting anything that's highly processed that's going to turn into sugar in their blood system. And of course, any type of highly sugary snack would also help. So, hi. So try to limit caffeine, including chocolate. So a lot of times parents are like, of course I wouldn't give my kid coffee. Like, you know, of course not. But a lot of parents don't realize that chocolate is in fact caffeine. It's almost equivalent, you know, giving them a little scoop of chocolate ice cream is almost equivalent to giving them a cup of coffee. You know, it really does get them kind of wired, because you have to remember that their tolerance and their threshold for these type of things is much, much lower than us. So we might be able to eat a bowl of chocolate ice cream right before bed and it doesn't really affect us. It affects me, but it might not affect you, but it definitely affects your little one. And the sugar with the caffeine is just a bad combination right before bed. So again, try to do that at least an hour before. I recommend trying to keep those chocolatey snacks towards the middle of the day instead of towards, you know, dinner time or the end of the day, if at all possible. So make sure that you have healthy snacks available. So that, again, we want to stabilize their blood sugar. This will stabilize their mood. So making sure that you have these healthy snacks just to go to, so you're not tempted to, you know, grab that candy bar or that candy that they're asking for on the checkout out of Target, right? You have some snacks prepared ahead of time that are really going to level their blood sugar and help them, you know, escape that feeling of hangry, right? We've all experienced that hangry feeling, and in a toddler, it is not fun. So if you can avoid it at all costs, I would. So just have those, maybe, you know, if your kid's not allergic to nuts, some like nuts, some, you know, string cheese, some, you know, applesauce or whatever it is. It's just quick and handy. That's more healthier than not. So, I also wanted to let you guys know or remind you that kids aren't able to register their hunger as well as we are. Again, they're brand new in their bodies. Like this, all these sensations, all these different things are totally new to them. So they are not gonna recognize that they're hungry until they are hungry. Okay, even if sometimes I'll ask my daughter, I'm like, you're getting a little grumpy. Are you hungry, or are you tired? Like, what's going on? No. And then sure enough, like 10 minutes later, Mommy, I'm hungry. You know, so it's a matter of being able to notice those cues in our kids before they do, and then also kind of asking them like, hey, I noticed that you're getting a little grumpy. Like, you're not usually acting like this. That tells me that you might be hungry or you might be tired. Which one do you think it is? And helping them to really start processing the feelings in their bodies with how they're acting and what's going on. And then giving them the words of like, oh, when you're feeling like that, just ask me for a snack. I'll go get you one right away. So yeah, that is pretty much the gist of tonight's topic. So sleep and diet. Next week, we're going to be talking about quality time and how really critical that is as a tool for preventing tantrums and any type of negative attention-seeking behavior. So thank you guys for joining. I'm flattered on Valentine's Day. I wasn't expecting anybody, but yeah, so I hope that you guys found this helpful and interesting. If you did, please like it, share it with whomever you can. I want to, you know, get this information out there to help out as many parents as possible, because I feel like we just all need the information, and we just all need as much help as we can possibly get. So it's a matter of sharing it and letting other people know that it's out there and it's available to them. So I always close it off with an invitation to join my Proactive Parents community. So you can do that via my website at tothemoonparentcoaching.com. And you can subscribe there, and you'll get all my tips, all my videos right to your inbox every Friday. And it's easy peasy. We all need that as parents. So yeah, I think that's it. do any of you guys have any questions for me that I could help answer since you did take time out to come today? Okay, so then I will go ahead and I guess say goodnight to you all. So just a reminder that February 23rd is my next upcoming class, and it is about fair and effective consequences. You can register at rcpark.com, and I will see you guys later. Feel free to DM me if you guys think of any questions. All right, take care and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye.